welcome to race 9 of the Formula Renault 3.5 Championship Season 2. We are in Imola this week as a short drive down from Monza. And the Season 2 Championship is tightening up. We've got 4 drivers with 7 races completed. Night Racing leads at 126 over Bozak at 107. T-Man third with Stillen 421 at 78 points. Nodovan is close, but it's only driven in 5 races, as you can see. He's going to be able to start pulling in that gap when the top drivers have to start dropping their worst results. The constructors couldn't be closer. Bismoni and Vazmak both down to 1 driver, a point apart at the top. Fanatec has 2 here today. It's a slippery and treacherous circuit, and we've got the top 7 drivers in the series all here today. Let's check out the starting grid at Imola. It couldn't have been closer, but Bozak has the pole, an amazing 129.7. Nodovan takes the front row by nipping Night Racing right at the end by less than a tenth of a second. 130.1 hits you inside row 2. Slim Reaper 911 is back and outside of row 2 with a 130.6. T-Man 1975 of 31.566 is inside row 3 alongside Stillen 421 33.25. Then it's Jagbase 44 in row number 4 133.981. It's a tight field and less than 1 second separates the top 4. It's 25 laps at Imola. Buckle up.
And there's the green flag. A little bit of wheel spin, but a good getaway by Bozak. Night Racing 727 on the inside of Nodovan as we head down to the first chicane. And Night Racing tight side by side with Nodovan, who's going to take the position. Slim Reaper right in behind. He goes wide coming down towards the second chicane. T-Man having a look, but he'll slot back in. Good stuff from one of the best fields on Xbox. Slim Reaper side by side, and he's going to take 3rd place from Night Racing. T-Man is 5th. That's Stillen with the red roll hoop in 6th, and Jagbase 44 is in 7th. As we come down through Aqua Minerale for the first time, Bozak, it's a very close run at the front. No incidents. Everybody's away clean. We were saying this is a very treacherous circuit. It's low grip for these cars. We have a bunch of different setup philosophies. And, high downforce, low downforce, different gearings. And through all of that, the top 4 separated by only less than a second. 9/10 of a second separate the top 4 in qualifying. Bozak will complete lap number 1. The pole sitter in the lead. Nodovan in 2nd. Nodovan with some races at hand, but he's trying to move up in the points championship. He's had some great runs. This is only his 5th race, however. As the leaders, only 10 races count as the leaders start to have to drop. As he's wide there, you're going to have to watch track limits. This is a slippery circuit. And putting, 4 wheels off for sure, or even 2 wheels off is going to give you slowdowns and possible penalties, so you have to watch it. Slim Reaper is now pulling up toward the back of Nodovan, who is pulling up on the back of Bozak. 1.6 seconds separate the top 3. Night Racing has dropped back a little bit. He's got his own little cubby hole, 3 seconds back and 3 seconds ahead of T-Man, who still has Stillen right behind him. There he is. And then a bit of a drop back to the other Sheriff Tizer car of Jagbase 44. Bozak now coming through, and we'll get our first representative lap times. Across the line, and it's a 31.6, so a hectic pace already up at the front. You see a 33.8 for Nodovan. That doesn't seem right to me. A 30.9 for Stillen. We mentioned how close the points are. Knight Racing, who is running in 4th, leads the championship at 126. Bozak 107, T-Man 90, Senna 211, who has left this series, is now running full-time in the Knight Racing esports team, devoting all of his time to that. Still in 421 is in 5th at 78 points. Those are the 4 drivers who have raced in 7 races. They're going to have to start dropping soon, but we're going to stop talking about that as Nodovan is now all over the back end of Bozak here. As we've got a challenge for the lead, and he'll have the tow coming down the front straightaway. You can see that Slim Reaper has dropped back a little bit into the clutches of Knight Racing. Oh, I was so hoping we would get a clean start here. The qualifying times, all the practice times all week were so close between these guys, and we've got what we wanted. A fantastic battle at the front, 4-car battle, really. The top 4, look at that, a 31.723, 31.3 a fast lap for Nodovan that time, and a 31.780 for 4th place. So identical lap times, really, 1st to 4th, as we're working lap number 4 here at Imola. Aqua Minerale a little wide there, as we're going to go on board with our 2nd place car, Nodovan. Track limits are strictly enforced here, especially places like that. You'll get slowdowns if you go wide and gain an advantage. And you can see this lap, Bozak's pulled away a little bit. It kind of ebbs and flows. It is so slippery here. You can see the back end going off there and pushing through that final corner. And now Slim has pulled back in. It's very difficult to follow here. Slim Reaper gonna make a move here into that first chicane. Oh, and a late braking by Nodovan. He's gonna hold on to it. Good stuff from both drivers. I was just saying, it kind of ebbs and flows as the leader can almost have an advantage. The tow, it's so hard to pick up the braking point sometimes with that wing in front of you. On this track, and everything's so slippery, you got to make sure you're inch perfect. These guys, you'll see the leader pull away, and then, oh, he's got some empty track, and he can get right back up on him. Slim doing very well here. See if he takes another move. Another 33 there for Nodovan. I think that doesn't seem right. Is that including a penalty time maybe for off track? Not sure how those lap times actually work that way, but we'll see. He did drop back a little bit from Bozak. Oh, just loose, and you can see they're so close now that this is giving Knight a little bit of an opportunity to pull in this battle. Over the line, into lap 6, 31.2. And yeah, it dropped a second. Here comes Slim again, but won't have enough to get up alongside the Canadian. 32s for this battle. And a matching lap time for Knight in the background there. So good stuff here. Oh, and a big wiggle by Knight Racing in the background. Holds onto it as they head down through the hairpin. And there you can see how difficult it is to be up in behind as Nodovan is now started to pull away again from Slim. Your leader on lap 6 is Bozak, pole sitter, and turning in near qualifying laps here. There is Nodovan and Slim Reaper 911 in second and third behind them. Knight Racing 727 is fourth and gaining. The championship leader trying really to minimize damage, it looks like today. T-Man 1975 in fifth place there. He is turning 33s. And he's pulled away a little bit from the Sheriff Tizer cars. Still in 421, a 34.4. Not sure if there was an issue there. And Jag Base, everybody pretty much on qualifying pace, to be honest. A 33.9. Good lap there for Jag. As we pop back up front and watching this battle between Nodovan and Slim Reaper 911. The Canadian able to hold on so far. The top four all visually together as we come through Aqua Minerale again. Just flying through the laps here. And mandatory pit stops, so that is starting to creep into the minds of these guys as well. As the pace starts to drop a little, it is so low grip here. The traction on these tires, it's almost hard to tell if your tires are going off or if it's just the grip of the circuit. If you're not millimeter perfect, you could lose so much speed and slide up onto these curbs. The curbs are treacherous as well, as you see Bozak, or Slim Reaper rather, go off in the background, and that's going to cost him a little bit of time. Knight Racing now just within a second. Who, as close as it's been, has really been on his own all day. It was Slim, remember, getting by him on lap 1 as they went down toward the hairpin. And he's had that nice little comfortable gap between the battle in front and behind, so now it's starting to close a little bit. Slim using all of the curbing there. And it's good to see Slim again. He's coming in. Slim Reaper is into the pits on lap 8. So an early stop here for the Brit. And that is going to free up Knight. No visual distraction, and he's up into third. Meanwhile, up front, it's now a 3.5 second lead for the pole sitter. He looks to be in the zone today. You know what? All of these guys seem to be in the zone today. Everybody is turning close to qualifying times, but this is very reminiscent of Austria, where Bozak got himself up there and just put the hammer down, blinders on, and took that first win of the season. So we'll see if he can cash in on this one. Here is Slim out of the pits. He's dropped all the way down to 7th, as you might expect. That was a very early pit stop. I'm curious to know why he was in there so early as he comes down to the hairpin on Jagbase 44. And Jagbase has lost a rim. I guess a little bit of a touch. That is a shame. And no traction for the Englishman. Oh, that's going to be a retirement. That is a shame, as both drivers seem to be doing what was right there. I think they just clipped wheels. And that's going to be the end for Jagbase, unfortunately, as the leaders are coming around now to the hairpin. They're going to have to avoid that Sheriff Tizer, which is right on the racing line. So we're down to 6. That's too bad. Lap number 10. Your race order is Bozak, Nodovan, Night Racing 727, T-Man 1975, Stillen, and Slim Reaper 911. The only car to have pitted so far. And that begs the question, if he was feeling the necessity to pit after 8 laps on this slippery circuit, is he going to have to pit again? That is not even 1/3, just under 1/3 distance in this race. We'll see what everybody else does. The lap times are not horrible. 32.3 that time for Bozak. A 31.6 as Night Racing has really now put the hammer down with some space in front. There's Nodovan going through. It's the championship leader. It always looks like they're about to spin out, doesn't it? Probably putting the hammer down a little bit. He wants to try and overcut Slim. Whether or not he can do that with the fresh tires. We'll watch the lap times of the Fanatec driver there in 6th place. 37 that time, but I don't think he lost too much time. This may still be the pit stop there. 32.3 for Slim as he goes through to start lap number 11. So Knight is covering that off at the moment as he gets the power down there. Bozak comes through to complete lap number 11. $31.4, no worries for the tires there. As Night Racing is into 2nd, it is Nodovan into the pits at the end of lap 11. Again, slightly early if you're going by halfway, but that's going to put the fellow Canadian Night Racing 727 into 2nd place. He couldn't possibly overcut both drivers, could he? I think he was too far behind Nodovan for that to happen. But we'll watch these lap times very closely. Nodovan is out of his pit stall and coming out. And he is going to stay in front. Here comes Slim now to complete the lap. So no change there as far as those positions. It is Night Racing 727 who we'll be watching now, who is right up behind them. And a 31-0 that last time by. He has got the hammer down. We'll see if he can jump these two and how good of an outlap Nodovan can have, because he had 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds as he entered the pits on the Besmoni driver, who is staying out. That was fast lap of the race right there, a 31-0, so why not? Those tires are still good. And a 31-4. All this has promoted T-Man up to 3rd place, as he's all over the curbs there. You can see Stillen is starting to reel him back in now. There was your gap, as you just saw Knight coming out of the hairpin there. It's been a busy few weeks for Knight here as the esports team is started up. There's a lot of racing going on the iRacing platform, and there's also a Project Cars 2 PC series in the works. So a lot of seat time for some of these guys, and of course, as you heard, Senna 211 has left this series to put all of his time to the best use he can as the Night Racing esports team is putting together a 12-hour Sebring team in the GTE class. So that should be very exciting. But at the moment, it's all about Formula Renault here in the Xbox Series, and there is Night Racing. Just under 8 seconds. But you can see 4/10 slower that lap. Not making a dent on the leader. It is really these two behind him. See what the lap times are. Here is Nodovan now, who's got a 4-second lead on Slim. So I believe he's actually pulled that gap out a little bit with the pit stops. There's Slim now coming out of the last corner. This is the lap time we want to see. How does this compare to Night Racing? As T-Man's in the pits, it's a 31-9 for Nodovan and a 31-1 for Slim Reaper. If I can get my tongue back inside my mouth properly. Looks like a long stop. So Knight 4/10 quicker that lap than Nodovan. And he had some very quick laps. 31.5 is the slowest he's done in a while. So we'll see when he's coming into the pits. As Bozak is in now. The race leader is in. There's Night Racing in the background, who is also in. So this is it. Still in 421 is 3rd now in the Sheriff Tizer after T-Man has pitted. Bozak and Night Racing in. It's fuel and tires. Bozak is away. Knight is dropped and he's away. Here it comes Stillen out of the final corner. And he's staying out into lap 15 on his original tires. He's going to pass Knight. He's going to take the lead. There's Bozak there. We have a new race leader, but now the only car to have not made his pit stop. Still in 421. He does like to lead a lap. He's done this before. So just behind him there is Bozak. And Nodovan does get 3rd place. He clears Night Racing through the pits, but is now a 2-second gap. So In those 2 laps, Knight was able to gain back a second. And you can see Slim Reaper, he has overcut. So the early stop for Slim does not pay dividends. Knight Racing, by staying out and turning in those 31-second laps, has made up a position in the pits with the overcut. Your race leader, lap 15, 10 to go at the end of this one, is still in 421, but we expect he's going to peel off here very shortly, and here he comes. You'll see Bozak there will regain the lead now. Back to the front with fresh rubber. And speaking of fresh rubber, Knight has got a run on Nodovan. The Canadians battling it out here for second place. Slim Reaper right in behind, ready to pick up any scraps if they happen. Boy, what a great race we're having here today. Now, we are told that Nodovan has been racking up some off-track points here, so it's going to have to be careful of track limits. Also the same for some of the other drivers in the field, but right now he's got to defend against Knight Racing here, who's got the tow, both cars with the DRS wide open. Not close enough to make a move there. We're on lap 17 here of 25. 8 laps to go, very wide that time around. Slowdowns for both drivers. This is going to give Slim a chance to gain some ground. And you can see Knight drop back quite a ways there. Both cars having slowdowns there. Just what we needed to make things even tighter for second. Bozak matching the pace of these guys, probably just saving the car a little bit. It's an 8-second lead as we go into lap number 18. So careful getting the power back on there out of the hairpin. So easy to have the back end pass the front end. Everybody here has done a spectacular job today. One of the most difficult. I can't say the most difficult because we raced at Azure Circuit earlier in the season. But with the low grip and the tight confines and the treacherous, I mean, every curve on this racetrack is treacherous. To have nobody even spin off yet, it's astounding. These guys have all done a great job here today. Up wide again, however, there for Nodovan. Is that another slowdown? He's still being pressured by Knight. It is. I think it is, as Knight Racing is going through. And that is second place for Knight Racing 727. Track limits really starting to cost these guys who are pushing the limits. They're very strict on this circuit, I have to say that. So the race order now is Bozak in first. Another 31.2. Look at Knight there, a 30.9 on the lap where he takes second place. Nodovan right behind is now third. Slim Reaper 911, fourth place. Still in 421 is your fifth place driver with T-Man 1975, the last runner, just starting his 19th lap in sixth. Unfortunately, we have lost Jagbase 44. Incredibly light contact in the hairpin with Slim Reaper after he came out of his pit. And it damaged the left rear suspension and he had to retire, so that is your race order as lap 19 goes into the books. And it's a 9-second lead now for Bozak. Second, third, and fourth all on your screen. We'll be heading to the Dubai Autodrome for the next race in this series as both Nodovan and Slim Reaper go wide there. We'll be racing on the international circuit, which should be fun. The GTE class will race on the Grand Prix circuit. GTEs are in Brno next week. Join us for that one here. As Knight has really started to pull away now. You can see a 36.1 there. I'm almost convinced that those lap times are including penalties that are being assessed for track limits, because obviously if Nodovan had turned to 36.1, he would have been passed on circuit by Slim Reaper. But it's still a just under 3-second gap there for those guys. So that's something new. That's something I didn't realize about that timing screen, is that it included penalty time on that lap. So there you go, 33.9, which is almost still a, well, 33.4 there for Slim, who I'm told has also accumulated a couple of penalties as well. Wide again, you saw Slim in the background there pushing through that second chicane. This has given Knight a nice... Oh, and he's almost lost it. He just said how easy that was to have the back end try to pass the front end, and it just about happened there for Slim. That's a good save. Back up to Knight now, who has got himself as big of a breather as he's had all race long right there. hitting the marks. Clipping the curbs, but not going over them. As we're into lap 22, 4 laps to go. Bozak's drove a perfect race, hasn't he? That car looks solid. He's been putting in the laps when he's needed to, and now he's just keeping it rock solid when there's no pressure. This circuit can bite you at any moment, and he's done a great job controlling the race. This was the hottest contested pole position of the season. 4 cars within 9/10 of a second. Just great stuff. And I said very, very early on, he looked a lot like he did at Austria, where he just put together a perfect race. And it's been a great save today if this holds out for this man. The championship leader sitting 4th for a lot of this race. Some great laps when it counted in the pit stop sequence, got him a position over Slim Reaper. And then it looks like slowdowns and a drive through now for Nodovan. So that means he's accumulated 10 seconds of penalties, and he's got to have a drive through. That puts Slim Reaper into 3rd place, onto the podium. Knott's got a big gap over Stillen, so I don't think he's going to lose 4th in this exchange, but boy, oh boy. There he is, through the back on the throttle, and he's still got a good gap over Stillen there. As Night Racing comes through, we're just saying it's making a spot on the pit stops, and then with those slowdowns, as you saw there, finally catching up with Nodovan. That gave another position back to Knight, and a 2nd place. He's going to be ecstatic about that, considering how dominant this car has been all day. Watch those track limits. Although, a very comfortable lead. The slowdowns will be no problem here for Bozak, as 2 laps to go now. It's an 8-second lead for the American. He's done everything right this weekend. Fast in practice, put in the pole lap under 1 minute and 30 seconds. And he's less than 2 laps away from his 2nd win of the championship. And that is going to close the gap down. It was a 19-point lead for Night Racing, 126 over 107. So he's going to get 7 of those points. We'll have a 12-point championship lead if this holds out the way it is. As we head to Dubai for the next race. Both drivers with 8 races, so everything is square there. If they make the races, we go to Sakito after that. Oh, and then Long Beach. Oh, that's going to be a good one, isn't it? Long Beach will be the first race where these guys will have to start replacing their worst finish. In other words, let's say, for example, 5th place for Night Racing in Donington in race number 1. So after they put 10 results up, he basically has to finish 4th or better to score any points in a round. And if he does finish 4th, he only gets the difference between 5th and 4th. Only your best 10 races count in this championship. It's all going to start getting interesting, and that is where drivers like Nodovan, who has missed more races up front, is going to be able to really close that gap down. So it's very important to get those good finishes while you can and have your top 10 be the best they can be. No problem with this finish for Bozak as he's halfway around now. The final lap here at Imola. Very hard. Sounded like he almost locked it up there. Yeah, the gap's coming down a little bit. He's being very careful. Through the final corner. Gives the curb. Ooh, not the exit curb. He gave the entry curb a wide berth. Your winner, race number 9 in the Formula Renaults in San Marino is Bozak. A great weekend. And behind him, Night Racing 727 will minimize the damage there by coming home in second. Slim Reaper 911 third. A great day for Fanatec, as they'll make up some ground here in the Constructors' Championship. 4th place, maybe a what could have been day for the Canadian Nodovan in the Vazmak team. But he brings it home a solid 4th. Still in 421 will be 5th as he comes by the pit lane now. And T-Man 1975, the final car on circuit, will finish in 6th. Jagbase 44, your final car, which did not finish. And there's your race winner, Bozak, as the top 3 podium finishers give us a little photo op.
And you can see the points have really tightened up after this one, as it's only 12 points now between Night Racing and Bozak. T-Man, a 10-point lead over Stillin 421, who moves into 4th place. Nodovan just 9 behind him in 6th. The Constructors, Fanatec has taken the lead with a double podium score today, 181 over 180 for Besmone. Join us for the next race in Dubai as we're on the international circuit. Thanks for watching the Night Racing League.